Your child says wabbit instead of rabbit. You can understand them perfectly, but your friend doesn't. That's completely normal at this age, and I'm going to show you how to support clearer speech without making it stressful. Hi, I'm Jane, and welcome to Dynamic Learning, a channel made by parents for parents. We've done the research, so you don't have to. This week, we're going to be exploring the milestone, speech mostly understood by familiar listeners. This means that your child's speech has become clear enough that people who know them well can understand most of what they're saying. We're going to accomplish this by using 4 stepping stones. Each one naturally builds upon the other. The first stepping stone is using gestures and facial expressions. Stepping stone 2, using familiar words clearly in routines, clearer speech in short phrases. Stepping stone 3, familiar adults understand most speech. And lastly, stepping stone 4, unfamiliar adults understanding more over time. Your child's speech has become clear enough for close family to understand. They might use gestures to add meaning, say familiar words clearly during routines, and sound clearer in short phrases. Familiar words like juice or nana are starting to get easier to understand. You understand them most of the time. Strangers may still struggle. And speech is mostly understood by close family. And that's exactly where it should be at this point. So let's get started and jump straight into stepping stone 1. Uses gestures and facial expressions to support meaning. Notice how they use pointing and faces when words aren't quite enough or they're struggling to find the right words to express themselves. Your child may use their hands, their face, and their general body language to convey what they're trying to tell you. Pointing and nodding, or even grabbing your hand and pulling you over to show you a toy, are all ways that they're trying to convey their message and make their message clearer to you whilst their speech is still developing. So here's what to look out for. They use pointing facial expressions when words aren't enough or when they're struggling to find the right words. Don't discourage this. It's not babyish. Try using phrases like, for example, you're out for a walk and you see a dog. They start pointing and go, ah, ah, ah. You could say, oh, yes, dog, big doggy. Or in the living room and you're playing, you've built a tower together and it falls down. And they point and they go, ah, ah, ah. Oh, you could say, oh, no, tower fall down. Uh-oh. So, why does all this matter? It matters because these gestures help you and your child to stay on the same message. They give you easy moments to model one word clearly. For this stepping stone, I just want you to practice noticing your child's gestures and saying each word slowly and clearly. There's nothing wrong with over enunciation or exaggerated enunciation. When my daughter was little, she would over exaggerate her enunciations. And so we wouldn't get words like book or duck. We would get book or sand. She's since grown out of it, and she would include the head nod as she was getting the words out. She's since grown out of it, of course. We also got words like, not words, phrases like mummy carrot, which was so sweet. It didn't actually mean mummy, I want a carrot. It meant mummy, carry me. That one was so sweet. I never bothered to correct it. And eventually she did grow out of it. I think what I probably did then is when she say, mummy carrot, oh, mummy carry me? Yes, I'll carry you, kind of thing. And then eventually she learned to say, mummy carry me instead of mummy carrot. And then she got too big and then the carry me just disappeared altogether. This stepping stone, yes, just practice noticing your child's gestures, saying the words slowly and clearly. When they point at, let's say, a banana, for example, model how they should say it. And so say, yes, banana. Or if it's for an apple, then go apple, really get the mouth movement in there. So let's look at some examples of what this would look like in practice or just in everyday routines. Let's say you're sat at the breakfast table together and they're pointing at the juice and they're just going, eh, eh, eh. You could acknowledge this by nodding at them and saying, yes, more juice. Wait for a response. But most likely what you have to do is you have to break it down for them. So model it. You say more, pause, wait, see if they're going to copy you. They most likely will, and they'll say more. Then you say juice and then wait for their response. They'll say juice and then tie the whole thing together for them. More juice. They might say it. They might say more juice. In that case, praise their effort. That's exactly what we want. They might struggle. They might stumble on their words. They might just look at you blank. But whatever it is, they've made the effort, and you want to praise every little instance, every little effort that they make, because these are the building blocks upon which speech will be developed. Another example could be you're playing with them in the living room. Let's say you're playing with a toy car with them. Let's say it's a red car. You could just say like, ooh, red car. Red, pause, wait for them to mimic you. They might say red, follow up with car, let them copy you, let them say car, and then tie the whole thing together. Red car. Hopefully they'll copy you and they'll say red car too. Those kinds of moments we want to praise them. Like I said, any little effort, it is effort, and that should be acknowledged. At this point, I'd like to ask you what funny, cute little mispronunciations your child has made, or exaggerated pronunciations. Put them down in the comments below so that we can all enjoy it together. So, once you're sufficiently confident that both you and your child have mastered this stepping stone, it's time to move on to the next one. Also, I just want to put a quick reminder in here that there's no set time to accomplish these stepping stones. You might feel that you've accomplished this one in a day and others might take you a week, and that's completely fine. Everyone moves at a pace that is right for them. On to stepping stone 2. Uses familiar words clearly in routines and short phrases. During routines, repeat their words back clearly to show that you understand them. Your child can say familiar words quite clearly when they use them during daily routines. Frequent words like, for example, juice, teddy, more, bed, all done, they might become clearer because these are words that are probably high repetition words for them. So what should you be looking out for at this point? Pay close attention to your child's conversations during high repetition moments, such as meal times, bedtime, bath time, story time, the words that they're using most often. Are they flowing more naturally? Is their enunciation becoming clearer? Those are all the little things that we need to pay attention to. Your child might start to increase their words per sentence. Sentence structure is a slow and gradual process. It starts off with one-word sentences, then we move on to 2, and then 3, and so on and so forth. So if your child was already using 2-word sentences, you might start to see a gradual increase, and you might start to get a few 3-word sentences here and there. The intelligibility threshold for toddlers is lower than for us, and they tend to simplify any complex movements or sounds. Sounds like p, b, t, d, n, r, k, g are all very easy and will flow. Those words that have them, they'll flow a lot quicker and easier. Sounds like sh, like for shoe, ch for chair, for thing, that, thread, or s, snake, snack. All those sounds, they're a little bit more complicated, and they won't start to be developed until they're at least 3 years old. So you'll get a lot of substitution words, you'll get a lot of shortenings, a lot of pauses. Substitution words could be, for example, pish for fish. My daughter's one was knack for snack. Spider, wabbit, rabbit, peschetti for spaghetti. Put down in the comments what substitution words or mispronunciations your child has made. So as I've previously said, when you're modeling words for your child, it's good practice to over enunciate. Don't worry if they then start over enunciating their words. Like I told you, my daughter used to pronounce book like book, including the nod. She doesn't do that any longer, but it was really cute when she was about 2 years old. So let's focus on identifying where these sounds come from. You've got the lip sound, so that's the p, the b, the the w. So as I'm exaggerating those sounds for you now on camera, I want you to try doing that with your child. You are going to look silly, but that's the fun in it, because you're going to get giggles and then they're going to want to copy you. And learning happens best through play. So a p sound, a great one is pop. Do it like that with a funny facial expression. They will probably copy that too. Or b, bubbles, bubbles, and so on and so forth. The tongue sounds, that's the next one. That's the t, the d, the n. They're harder to get because you can't see the tongue but behind the teeth. As I'm going n or d, you can't see my tongue. But just try to get your face up close to them and do the nana. That's a good one. Nana. Nana. Na 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 na. Maybe make a little song out of it. Get them involved in all those little things. And then you've got the sounds that originate from the back of the throat. That's the k and the g. So yes, exaggeration over enunciation and get a little silly with them. All of that will help encourage those giggles and that mimicry. So why does all of this matter? It matters because using the same word in the same moments gives your child a lot of chances to practice, to hear, and to repeat these sounds and words without pressure. It is constant exposure, or constant, consistent exposure, I should say instead. All this is important because over time, these short sentences will become easier for listeners to understand. When you model a clear, short version of what they are trying to communicate, you're ensuring high repetition and giving your child an easy moment to model this behavior and to refer back to. So, for this stepping stone, I want you to practice using the same simple phrases with your child. At bath time every night, try using bubbles, pop. This is a great one to practice as it practices both those b and p sounds. Other phrases that you can use at bath time are splash, more water, all clean or all done. Your child hears the sounds clearly and gets natural, practical practice in. The reason short phrases work so well is that people who spend most time with your child, like you, learn to understand their unique way of saying things. And as they practice each time, they'll slowly become more proficient at those words and phrases, eventually expanding their speech, and slowly more and more people will be able to understand them. Again, like with Stepping Stone 1, once you feel confident that both you and your child have mastered this stepping stone, it's time to move on to the next one, which is Stepping Stone 3. Familiar adults understand most of their speech. Familiar adults understand most of their speech. Focus on understanding their message, not perfect pronunciation. You can understand the main idea of what your child is trying to communicate during daily routines. You've learned how your child says wabbit instead of rabbit, peschetti for spaghetti, or in my daughter's case, hairbee for hairbrush. And you can translate all of this with relative ease. And this is exactly what this stepping stone is about. familiar adults understanding most speech. So, what should you be looking out for here? Keep an ear out for your child's sounds during key moments of the day, like snack time, playtime, bedtime, bath time. Even if it still isn't quite clear yet, we are looking for little improvements. As we like to say in our family, small, small equals big, big, meaning practice makes perfect, they'll get there eventually. All this matters because it is important the people that your child is familiar with, that they can understand them too. This means that they can have deeper, more meaningful interactions, which can build your child's confidence and encourages them to keep on talking. You're not expected to correct every sound, just listen and respond. So, for this stepping stone, I want you to practice when your child says something unclear, respond to their meaning, not the mistake. Oh, you see a rabbit? Yes, the rabbit is hopping. Others examples could be, you want the blue cup? Blue cup, yay! Or Teddy sleep. Night night, Teddy. Look, doggy. Big doggy. You've understood. You've modeled the clear sound and you've kept talking. Understanding your child comes naturally to you because you're with them every day. But what about people who don't know them as well? That's what this final stepping stone is about. Stepping stone 4. Unfamiliar adults understand more over time. Don't worry if people who don't know your child don't understand them just yet. It's normal for strangers to struggle to understand your child at this age. Over time, as your child practices, their speech becomes clearer to people who don't know them as well, or who don't spend as much time with them. So, what are we looking for? The people that your child is familiar with, such as grandparents, babysitters, family, even close friends, they might start to find it easier to understand your child now compared to a few months ago. Strangers, on the other hand, might still struggle to understand, but with your help, the message will get through. If your child is still shortening words or swapping out tricky sounds, that's okay. Each week, you should notice small improvements that tell you they are making great strides. Remember to be supportive here. You are their translator. You don't have to pressure your child. All of this matters because gradual improvements are normal and should be recognized for significant achievement for your child. Your child's speech clarity grows through practice in everyday moments, and you don't need to rush it. For this stepping stone, I want you to practice when an unfamiliar adult doesn't understand your child. Calmly translate, "Oh, he's asking for the ball." This helps your child to feel heard and keeps the conversation flowing. So at this moment, I'd like us to do a quick recap. When you understand a word that they have said, repeat it back clearly to them. If you don't understand it, look at them and name it for them. Model the sound instead of asking them to say it properly. Remember, they're still learning. Here's how modeling phrases grow with each stepping stone. Stepping stone 1 with gestures, say more juice or I pour it. With familiar words, for stepping stone 2, banana, you want a banana. For stepping stone 3 with familiar adults, longer phrases like the car goes beep beep or you have the blue block. And finally, for stepping stone 4, try modeling longer sentences like I hear the birds sing or run fast, go, go, go. Let's have a look at how all these stepping stones evolve over one time of the day, namely snack time. At first, you're putting words to their pointing. As they start to try to get the words out, you're validating them, even if they're just saying Nana. Eventually, as they become clearer, you can move on to simple conversation, confirming that you've understood what they're trying to tell you. So it could be pointing at the banana, then your child asking Nana, you're saying yes, banana. Child might even move on from that and say want apple. You said apple, yummy apple. Or even juice. More juice? Yes, I'll give you some more juice. I'll pour it for you. Avoid asking them to say it properly. Instead, try modeling the sound naturally back to them. Avoid correcting every pronunciation mistake. Try focusing on the meaning of what they're trying to tell you. Avoid worrying if they stammer when they're excited. When children are excited, it is very common for them to really get stuck on words and go, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. It will flow out eventually. Instead, just wait patiently and excitedly for what they're trying to tell you, because remember, they are very happy. They are very excited to tell you something. So sit there with anticipation for whatever it is that they want to tell you. You know when your child says something to a stranger and you become their instant translator? Ooh, he says he wants the green one. He wants to kick the ball. You're like their personal interpreter, but instead of interpreting languages, you're translating toddler and gobbledygook. Honestly, you're brilliant at it. That's not a problem. You're being their communication partner. And on a side note, it's kind of fun, isn't it? It's like this secret language that only you and they know. So keep up the good work and you'll both get there. That's it for this week. Try as often as you can remember to practice the simple phrases with your child during moments of high repetition each day, like snack time, meal times, bath time, bedtime, all the times during the day. Listen intently to your child. Listen to how they say these high repetition words and respond to their meaning. Gently model clear enunciation for them, and remember, try not to overcorrect them. You're modeling proper speech and enunciation for them. This is how you will help them grow their speech clarity. If you're struggling with any deeper concerns about their speech, consider contacting a speech and language professional. If you're unsure about where to start, consider making an appointment with your GP, or alternatively, visiting your nearest children's centre might be helpful. Let me know how you got on in the comments and what your experiences was. Were the stepping stones too hard or were they very achievable? Please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all here next week.